in working in this environment for many years. She's worked in education, telecommunications, public relations, a whole lot of stuff. So she has a wealth of experience. So what I'm going to just cover quickly, we talk about why we're choosing these careers in ICT, right? I'm just going to go through quickly some stuff. But before we do that, I just want to share quickly a nice video about what RSC is about. But some of you all may not know what we are about. You've seen people in here with RSC, and those are volunteers who run this program behind the scenes for you all to have a great experience. And we've been doing this for a really long time. So hold on a sec. Let me just share my screen and tell us a little bit about what RSC is about.
Restore Sense of Icon is a non-profit organization based in Trinidad and Tobago with a mission of effecting change through education and technology. Divide exists in the education sector, be it social, economic, gender, or perhaps even trying to survive a system that is not really for the current time that we live in. A number of various organizations and even individuals have tried many programs to assist students to help bridge this divide. Unfortunately, a lot of these programs are event-based with limited resources. Through the development of a technology club model across the region, RSC has been able to build communities with stakeholders including students and teachers and educators. Through these clubs, we've been able to build capacity in participants in various areas of technology, and the trained participants themselves help to propel the model. Problems are identified, and then efforts are made to use technology to help solve these problems. For example, in the past year, over 1,000 refurbished computers were given back to students in the system. These computers would have been ended up in landfills. Students who need academic assistance get peer-to-peer support through webinars and development of digital content. Through collaborations with other organizations, the club acts as a conduit for STEM camps and hackathons and esports and a whole bunch of other activities. Through collaboration with educators, we host a webinar series, now over 30 episodes for educators. Through partnering with the Ministries of Education, training in the past year over 4,000 teachers in the use of virtual platforms. We are proposing the scaling of a human-based model propelled by emerging technology tools and supported by various stakeholders. The main beneficiaries, of course, being students and also teachers and educators.
Okay, great. So why choose careers in ICT? And again, Leona will be talking about personal branding and why it's important for your career goals. So let's go. So a lot of the other presenters would have spoken about the different kind of career types that we have in available to us. I mean, data scientists, web developers, data center technicians, cybersecurity specialists, social media and marketing consultants, e-marketing specialists, technology support, project managers, database analysts. I could go on and on and on for a very long time about the types of careers that we could get just from a career. It's a very unique field, where a very exciting field as well. So, but what about you all in secondary school? What you're looking forward to? Are you looking for the jobs now? Are you looking for the jobs that's going to be ready when you are ready for a job? So technology is likely to be adopted. We have this up just to show you 2025 cloud computing, and look how many are related to technology: cloud computing, big data analytics, IoT, AI, and machine learning, augmented reality and VR, 3D printing. I mean, these are the kind of possibilities that are coming, and you all have to be ready for it. So if you want a career, the exciting jobs are out there. And I mean, I just adding to what the other presenters would have said. So you all have seen a lot of this already, right? So Interestingly, 65% of school-age children, which are you guys, will be employed in jobs that don't yet exist, right? So imagine how many of you, I mean, when you all were young, I mean, there was no such thing as social media influencers, TikTokers, YouTubers. Facebook wasn't a big deal. In fact, now things like Facebook use algorithms to give you what we call content directed to you. But guess who programs all that in the back end? You have programmers, you have big data analysts, you have content creators, all these people working behind the scenes to get things done, you know? So yeah, imagine that the job that you may be looking for probably don't have a name for it yet, you know? But some interesting things about the vacancies that are there, and I think Michael spoke about it, and CTS spoke about it as well, right? The number of unfilled cybersecurity jobs in more than tripled in less than a decade, right? So right now, there are over 3 million vacancies in cybersecurity. Imagine that, right? Up to 1/3 of the jobs posting are emerging technologies or jobs that require what they call emerging tech skills, okay? And then I just chose this one because I found it was so typical. I mean, there's so many more, so topical now about data analytics. The demand for data scientists and data engineers has more than tripled in the last 5 years. Those are huge statistics to talk about. I mean, the jobs are there now, the jobs are becoming. So do you want a traditional job or do you want something that's exciting where, like I said, you could work from home? If you go on Google remote jobs or remote work, you'll find lots of jobs out there already. It could be something simple as formatting documents or something as great as being part of a project manager. But here's a look at some of the most valuable brands. Do you see a trend? Apple, Amazon, Google, Samsung, Microsoft, Verizon, Facebook. Those are big names, and these are multi-billion-dollar companies. But guess what? We're talking about all these grand things, but how do you get there? You must be thinking, well, you know, Kevin, I mean, how do we get to work for these big companies? And we're letting you know that there are people in the Caribbean, Trinidadians and other Caribbean people who are who have reached that level and are leaders in tech around the world, right? Example, Nikia Revelak from Netflix. She's a Trinidadian. She grew up down here. She's in charge of the VP for Netflix. I think their IT department right now. Daniela Skeen, just examples of people who, just local people that you know every day, and they probably start like you, choosing subjects, deciding what subjects they wanted to choose. Abby Knowles is the VP for IT for Verizon. She's a Trinidadian as well, right? Devon created a program that he sold a few months ago, I think a few years ago, called Shot Tracker. It tracks basketball percentages and stuff like that. He was into sports and he got into IT. How about Matthew Kalima, who is one of the behind the scenes engineers with Airbnb, one of the biggest names out there, and they've been huge for so long, you know? So then what's next for you? Where do you get what you want, right? We do things like virtual camps, as you saw in the video. How about starting there, getting yourself involved in these kind of activities, getting yourself involved in any kind of STEM related or ICT related activities? You know, we'll be having tech camps starting soon. We'll be also having RSC camp, tech clubs in those schools, as you all saw, right? Some of my advice here would be like use social media effectively. We talk about digital citizen, digital literacy and stuff like that. YouTube, you can learn anything from YouTube right now, right? Follow us on Facebook and see what's up. Get involved. Get to know some of these small steps that you could take to get to what you want. All right, so this was just my little way of saying something alternative to what you all know already. You all are smart. You all could go out there and Google and find out what all the job requirements are and what all the passes that you need for anything. So we're not going to cover that. What Leona will talk about now, and I would like to bring her on. Oops, yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hi.
Yeah, so sorry, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so Leona, we talk about personal branding, why it's important. We're going to talk about things like GitHub and LinkedIn and your social media online presence and how important those things are to your future, right? So I'll be quiet now and I'm all over to Leona.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today with you to talk about personal branding and why it is important. I'll be sharing my screen. So we'll begin with the PowerPoint presentation. Right. So to start off, what do I mean when I talk about personal branding? Personal branding is the practice of marketing yourself and your career as a brand. Developing your personal brand helps you stand out by identifying and articulating your authentic self, who you are, and then leveraging it across digital and social media platforms with a consistent message and image. A strong personal brand inspires trust and confidence. It helps you build a positive personal and professional reputation. Simply put, a personal brand is how you present yourself in the world. You are your own brand. Why is it important? Building a strong personal brand can help open many doors for you in the future. It is a great way to demonstrate your skills and knowledge about a particular subject or field. Whether you're applying for college, for an entry-level job, or for your future career, someone is going to be Googling your name. Indeed, in today's digital age, many employers will expect you to have an online presence, and some will want to ensure that you don't have a poor reputation online. Creating a personal brand is part of self-marketing, and it plays an important role for recruitment in this digital age. Therefore, a strong personal brand can lead to a multitude of opportunities, including job interviews, networking, promotion, internship, speaking engagements, just to name a few. How to build your personal brand? There's 3 tips, what I like to call the 3 C's, which is content, character, and charisma, in how to build your personal brand. Content, the first C is content. This refers to what you have to sell, which is usually your skills and knowledge and what valuable and unique perspective that you can bring to the table. You should create content that 1, addresses current issues or topics, 2, provides meaningful and motivational information that is relevant to your passions and projects in order to build engagement and conversations that can lead to real connections with your audience and within your network. The second C is for character. Your character is about who you are, and this determines why people want to associate and connect with you. What you represent, what drives and motivates you, what are your passions, what makes you you. Your character provides you with your authentic voice, and this is key to building your personal brand. The third C stands for charisma. Charisma is not simply how people feel about you, but also includes what is in your sphere of influence, who you have in your circle, who are your connections, and the people that are within your network. Therefore, first, how to build your personal branding is content, character. So remember the 3 C's to start building your personal brand is content, character, and charisma. And this brings me to the end of my presentation. And I hope that going forward, you will strive to develop a strong digital profile and personal brand that will benefit you in your future career path. You're never too young to start because you always have a digital presence right now. So thank you. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, well, hold on a sec. I don't know if we have any questions for us. I know we're out of time. Let's open up. You all can unmute and just ask questions quick if you all don't mind, or if our hosts have questions for us. We'll take a couple.
Hi, I think one question students kept asking is, what is the most rewarding aspect of your job, or what is the most challenging aspect of your job? So you all could share on that, please. What is the most rewarding? What is the most challenging?
Leona first.
Okay, I can go with it is rewarding and it also is challenging. What is happening, because I'm in public relations, branding, and digital marketing, the field is always evolving. TikTok didn't exist a couple of years ago. It's a recent phenomenon, and it came out of China and it invaded the world. So you have to keep building your capacity. You have to keep building your knowledge and developing your skill sets. So in itself, learning something new is very rewarding, but it's also a challenge because you always have to keep abreast with the changing and evolving technology. So Karen?
Mine
Thank you
is,
so much.
I mean, seriously, my greatest is like doing stuff like this. When we do events like hackathons and camps and stuff, and to see at the end of that, after the struggle with the kids, that they could get a solution to a problem where critical thinking becomes part of it, or they get certificates, it makes it all worthwhile. Sometimes the thank you notes from them is what makes it worthwhile. So every week we have wins with stuff like that. And to me, that's really important. Having my team here, volunteers here, are kind of choking up people like Surin and Brad and Limmer and a couple of them who not here, Gabriella and Faith and Suri and Surin. These are Swasti and Shreya and stuff like that. Having them around to do these kind of things and they learning from you as well is really good. The challenges are always there. In any IT job, you have challenges, but don't worry about that now. When you get there, you'll
When I get there.
like Michael said, if the passion is there, it wouldn't
Yes.
bother you.
I'm seeing Colleen Clegon has her hand up. Colleen, you want to ask your question?
Pauline, you can unmute. It's fine.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So my question was, how do I, so I'm a Form 2 student, right? How do I create my personal brand as I'm in Form 2 as of now?
Well, one of the things that you do, is volunteer. You sign up for, you see the tech clubs like RSC, what have the tech clubs and everything like that. So you start building your capacity, you start building your skills, and you start building what we call, you get a digital certification. And what you can do, although that you're in Form 2, you can create your own personal branding site using Google Sites. And that necessarily doesn't have to be shared to the public, that it could be close to you. So that when you reach that age, that 18 years and over, and then you're job hunting, and then you want to look, you want to showcase your skills, then you'll be able to have this platform already available that is ready, that showcase who you are, what you're about, and everything that you have to bring to the table. It highlights all your digital certifications, all your skills. So because you have something like that, and when you put that on your resume and you direct someone to here, look at my website, they would see it speaks so much about the individual in terms of their capacity, their tech, their skills, in terms of their proactivity, your productivity. It speaks so much about that person. So you're never too young to start, and because you're so young, it starts by volunteering. That's the first thing you can do. Find a mentor that you'll be able to, who'll be able to share and help you along that path. And as I said, RSC, it's one of the, they're here, they're available. and you can reach out to them and you can get started through that platform.
I'll put
Thank
in
you
the
so
chat
much.
the link for GitHub. That's one of the resources that a lot of tech people use now to showcase their portfolio. They don't do resumes anymore, so a lot of their stuff is on GitHub. I would suggest if you want to start, they can start light. Like Leona said, the camps and stuff that we have. You just be careful with what you're doing, just be safe with what you're doing. I think that's it.
Yes, thank you. I sincerely appreciate. I did not know about GitHub, Mr. Kevin. Thank you so much. And what I appreciated, Miss Leona, those 3 C's for personal branding. And let me just repeat: content, charisma, character. And the one big take home for me, and I'm recognizing that students also will take this home. ICT is here forever, man.
Yeah.
It is here forever.
Yes, yes, it is.
And I think that came out in everything all the presenters shared, that ICT is a career that would live on and on and on. So yes, Mr. Kevin, you wanted to
So
say
the last thing I
something?
just wanted to add something I didn't get to touch on. Digital literacy and digital citizenship is such a huge thing that is the buzzword right now. You all go and look up and see what digital citizenship is about. We'll be starting some work on that soon. Certificated courses on stuff on digital citizenship and digital literacy. If you want to move forward, and we found particularly pandemic, a lot of people are being left behind because they're not able to use the internet properly, right? For example, a lot of use YouTube for entertainment. I mean, and I try to make mention that YouTube can be a learning tool, a teaching tool for so many things, from anything from laptop repairs to how to do a PowerPoint presentation nicely. Now that Kevin went on YouTube to learn anything about PowerPoint today, right? It wasn't me, right? But I see that question, yeah, in the chat. Schools that are involved, we have many schools across the Caribbean that are involved in the tech clubs. Holy Name Convent, Point Fortin, I think I remember your principal. But you could always get in contact with us. We put the WhatsApp number in the chat.
Yes, I saw you all put some information in the chat.
I know,
So students, please feel free to access this information that is in the chat. All right. So I want to thank you all very much. Let me allow Ms. Renisha Mohammed to please give the vote of thanks, but I say thank you on behalf of the St. Patrick Education District. Thank you so much. Ms. Mohammed, are you there?